Hello, namaste everyone, welcome. My name is Dana and this is my very first video on this channel, Journey to the Heart. And it has been quite the journey for me over the past year, growing my business, and I feel so excited to be sharing online videos for you that you can do anytime, anywhere, high quality and beautifully intended. So grab your mat, get whatever you need, and let's get started. All right, and as you settle onto your mat, you can find your seat, find your sit bones, and maybe closing down the eyes, beginning to deepen your breath. And as you root down through your seat, feel your crown lengthening and extending towards the sky. Your chin can gently tuck back towards your chest, helping to draw the ears over top of the shoulders. And here we'll take a deep inhale, rolling the shoulders up towards your ears, and exhale back and down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, rolling up. And exhale down 1 more. And your hands can be rested on your knees, either palms down for grounding, or perhaps you want to flip your palms up to receive energy. You can even draw your index and thumb together in Yana Mudra, the lock of wisdom, and come back to your breath. We'll be exploring an equal breath today. So that's an equal in and an equal out breath. And whatever count feels best for you, I'll encourage you to bring that in now, whether it's a count of 4 or 5 or 6. Expanding through your lungs. Maybe you can increase your inhale, increase your exhale by a count or 2. Take 1 more breath. And on your exhale, you can just allow your breath to return to its normal rhythm. And scan with your awareness from the crown of your head all the way to the tips of your toes, checking in with your body. Noticing if there's any areas of tension or anywhere you might be holding or gripping. And if you find such a place, with your next breath, see if you can melt and resolve to soften that away. You'll be invited throughout practice today to connect with your breath, to move just like a moving meditation, inhaling and exhaling as we flow from posture to posture. And our breath will be our guide. So if ever there's a time where you find you're holding your breath and straining to get into shape, maybe you can use your awareness to notice, and then without judgment, come back to your breath, even if that means backing off a little bit from the posture, whatever it might be. And on your inhale, float your hands beside your hips, palms facing up. Exhale, settle your shoulders away from your ears. And on your inhale, gather your palms out to the side, reaching them overhead, palms touching just above your crown, fingertips together. And then exhale, hands through your heart. Interlace your fingers and then press your palms away, rolling your spine, kind of like a a cat spine. Stretching through the shoulder blades, allowing your head to hang heavy. On your inhale, sweep your palms up towards the ceiling, stack your spine. Release the hands, palms down, let them float all the way down to the ground. And then draw your hands behind your back, interlacing your hands behind the small of your back. Draw the shoulders away, chest open as you inhale. And maybe here you can lift your hands an inch or more off of the ground, deepening the opening throughout the front of the shoulders and your heart space. And on your exhale, you can release your hands, float them beside your hips, palms facing up. And inhale, palms touching overhead, fingertips meeting, and then exhale, hands to heart center. And right away, interlace, press away, cat spine, rounding through the shoulder blades. Inhale to lift the spine, reaching it and lengthening. Exhale, float your hands down, fingertips towards the mat. Interlace your hands behind you, shoulders drawing away, lifting your heart. Exhale, release. And then here we will palms facing up, interlace palms once again overhead. And this time we're going to take our hands over to the left hand side. So nice, beautiful side bend ground through the right side, your right hip. And in these kind of shapes, it's important to notice whether you are creating length in the spine before you come into the bend or not. So see if you can create some length, maybe even coming out of the shape a bit and then folding over. Inhale back to center, settle the shoulders away, create length, reaching with the hands, reaching with your crown, and then exhale over to the right hand side, grounding your left sit bone down. Inhale, stack your spine, and you can release your hands. Draw your right hand towards your left knee, and then we're just gently going to twist over to the left, taking the gaze over your left shoulder. On your inhale, maybe you come out of the twist a little bit. And on your exhale, you deepen. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, coming back to center. Exhale over to the right, left hand to right knee. Inhale, arms sweep back and overhead, facing the front of your mat, and then exhale, hands to heart center. And now you can take your fingertips and begin to walk them out in front of you and allow your head to hang heavy towards the floor, getting a nice stretch through the lower back, through the sides of your body. Sometimes it's nice to shift from side to side, especially if you're a little bit tighter. Just adding some movement, loosening through the tissues. Come back to center and then walk your fingertips all the way back to your body, head reaching nice and tall. Perfect. Let's move on to all fours, table pose. So here we want to stack up the joints. Fingers spreading nice and wide, really rooting through the pads of the fingers, gently pressing in through the fingertips. You'll notice your shoulders right above your elbows, right above your wrists, protecting the joints, creating strength and stability. Toes can be tucked or untucked, knees right underneath the hips, and we'll move through some cat-cows. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, draw your shoulder blades in behind, and then exhale right from the sacrum. You roll your spine up, chin drawing towards your chest for cat. And here, please move at your own pace, at your own breath. See if you can match the movement with your breath, really extending the breath, slowing down the movement, moving in ways that feels really nice for your system, feels really nice for your body today. Come back to center. Press through the hands, creating a bit of space within the shoulders. And then on your exhale, look over your left shoulder, left hip, so that you're looking at your toes. You might feel a little opening through the side body. Inhale, come back to center. Now look over your right shoulder. Inhale, back to center. One more time, each side. Beautiful. Come back to center, and then we're going to move into our heart melting pose, also called puppy dog pose. So you can walk your hands out in front of you, forehead drawing down towards the mat. Your hips are right over top of your knees. And this is just a really nice posture for opening up the front line of the body, the chest and the shoulders. Beautiful if you spend a lot of time driving or typing at a computer. Really nice for opening up. If this is fairly easy for you and you need a little bit more of a challenge, you're welcome to draw your chin towards the floor. Just being very careful, gradually easing into this deep stretch. On your inhale, you can gently walk your hands back to table and just allow your spine to rest in neutral for a breath. Hands walk out an inch or two ahead of you, tuck your toes, and for our very first downward facing dog, lift your hips. And in our down dog, what we're looking for in this shape is a nice long line all the way from the hips through the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. And you can start by pedaling your feet back and forth, just like you're a cat, kneading, stretching through the heels, stretching through the calves. And then eventually finding stillness. You can take a bend into the knees, and heels can be lifted in this posture. Your gaze is looking right through the legs. Our gaze in yoga is called drishti, where we're focusing our energy to go. That helps draw the heart closer to the thighs. Can you ground a little bit more down, energizing through the heels? Take one more breath. On your exhale, look to your hands, and on your inhale, you can step forward to the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. You can ragdoll here, hold opposite elbows. I like swaying side to side. Draw your belly button in towards your spine and slowly roll all the way up to standing. Very nice. Inhale, sweep your palms out to the sides, palms touch overhead, gazing up at the thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, fingertips down towards the mat. Inhale, pressing into anything, your knees or your shins, belly drawing in, shoulders drawing back, halfway lift. And exhale, fold, fingertips down towards the mat. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, halfway lift, creating length in the spine in each vertebra. Exhale, fold. Finding a little bit more depth. On your inhale, halfway lift once again. Lengthen the spine, reaching your crown forward, shoulder blades drawing back. Exhale, plant your palms and step back into plank. Now you can lower the knees to begin, elbows hug in towards your ribs, and then slowly lowering down, chin, chest, and then hips. Legs are nice and strong, and then peel your heart up for baby cobra, tucking your chin in just a little to lengthen the back of your spine, light weight in the hands. And then exhale, press through table, tuck your toes, downward facing dog, lift your hips. And once again, you can pedal the feet or you can find some stillness, whatever is calling to you today. Beautiful. On your next inhale, bend your knees slightly. Exhale, look to your hands. Step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stand up nice and tall, stacking your spine, reaching your hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's move through one more sun salutation. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, lower down the knees for modified chaturanga, lowering all the way down to the mat. Baby cobra, inhale to peel your heart forward. Exhale, lower. Let's do cobra 2 more times. Inhale, peel your heart. Exhale, lower. Very nice. Press through your hands, table pose, tuck the toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Now you might want to move your left foot a little bit closer, maybe more to the midline. As you inhale, sweep your right foot back and up, creating a beautiful long line, reaching through the toes, really energizing through the legs. One more breath. Exhale, step it forward and through the hands. If it doesn't quite meet, you can always kind of scoot your foot up with your toes. You can use your hands. We're going to come into crescent pose, and before we lift up, find your center, drawing your heel in towards the midline, drawing your toes in towards the midline, activating your legs. Bring your hands to the inside of your right foot and then float the hands up overhead, crescent pose. You can kind of extend your legs a little bit out and then come back in. Finding the depth that suits you today. If this is a lot for the shoulders, you're always welcome to draw your hands down to heart center. Flatten the back foot down for warrior 2. Press into your front leg with your arm to shift your weight back. Take a moment to take a look at your feet. Root down through the pinky side edge of your back foot and draw your knee open to the right side of your mat in the front. You should be able to see your big toe. Sending the arms out nice and long, flip your palms up, press the shoulders down, and then flip the palms down. Warrior 2. Return back to your breath. Return back to your center. Extended side angle pose. Right forearm to your right knee and sweep your left fingertips down towards the mat and then up by your ear. Bicep right by the ear. Fingers reaching towards the upper ceiling. Beautiful line all the way from your ankle to your hip to your shoulder to your fingertips. Inhale for peaceful warrior. Your arms are going to stay the same. Sorry, your legs are going to stay the same. Your arms will move. Right arm lifting up, opening through the shoulder, opening up through the front side of your body. And on your exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame the foot, and step back into a plank pose. Slowly lowering down, chin, chest, hips. Inhale for baby cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg up, nice and tall, stretching here. Reach a little bit more, and then on your exhale, step your left foot through to your hands. If it doesn't quite reach, you can scoot your toes forward. You can use your hands to physically move your foot and adjust your foot here. So for crescent pose, coming high onto the ball of the back foot, gathering your core in nice and strong, lengthening through your spine. Bring your hands to the inside of your left leg as you sweep all the way up. Maybe coming out of crescent pose a little bit before settling back and extending the back leg, reaching the back of the knee up towards the ceiling. And then ground the back foot down, warrior two. Taking the left hand and pressing away to line up your upper body over top of the hips. Picking up the toes, spreading them out wide, really rooting through the pinky side edge of your back foot. Guiding your knee towards the left side of the mat on the front foot. Settling the shoulders down. And then fingertips reaching front and back. Extended side angle, left arm to left thigh, and then sweep your right hand down towards the mat and then overhead. Bicep right by your ear, draw the right hip down. Legs stay the same. Peaceful warrior as you sweep your arms up, left arm up, right arm grazing the back thigh, opening the front line of your body. Cartwheel the hands, framing the front foot, and then option to move through a flow. You can lower down the knees and lower all the way down, chin, chest, hips. Strong legs as you peel your heart forward, lightweight into the hands. Exhale, press it up. On your inhale, look to your hands and take a bend into your knee. And exhale, step your right foot to the right side of your mat and your left foot to the left side of your mat, coming into Malasana squat pose. Now there's many different variations in this posture. So you can remain more upright, or if you have the hip mobility, you can start to bring your elbows down in between your knees. You're welcome to use a block and place it underneath your seat. Lots of different options. I like this one sometimes, just it takes the pressure off of the legs if the legs are quite sore, but it helps with opening up through the hip joint. Wherever you end up being, see if you can open through your chest and maybe even gently squeezing back through the shoulder blades. Soften your face, return to your breath, return to your center, time after time. One more breath. And then plant your hands or fingertips down to the floor, and you can straighten your legs, folding forward, releasing any of that tension. And now heel toe your feet nice and wide for a wide-legged fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, drawing the crown of your head down towards the mat. Your toes will be pointing in, heels pointing out, and maybe even walk your hands a little bit further back. Create length in your spine by reaching your forehead, reaching the crown of your head a little bit forward. Inhale, halfway lift, and then plant your left hand to the middle, like right in front of your face. And then inhale, sweep your right arm up and open, twisting to the right side. Exhale, float your right hand down, other side. Inhale, left arm up. Let's do that a few more times, moving with your own pace, seeing if you can get a little bit deeper twist each time. This feels so nice. And on your last one, you can come back to center, walk your feet in a little bit more, hands to the hips, gathering your core, shoulder blades drawing back, and then stand all the way up to center. And you can pivot your feet towards the front of your mat. And then frame your front foot. Draw your left knee down towards the mat for a low lunge stretch. Getting deep into the left side of the hip. Through the hip flexor. Sometimes it feels nice to point the toes, letting them relax a little bit. And then notice what it feels like if you draw your chin towards your chest. You might feel a deeper stretch, maybe not. Maybe it feels good, maybe it doesn't. Sink into your hips here. Resolve to let anything go. Inhale, shift your hips back towards the back foot and lift your right foot up, coming onto the heel for half splits. Lengthen your spine, your crown towards the top of your mat before you fold forward. Inhale, come forward into low lunge. Heart drawing forward. Exhale, hips back, half Hanumanasana. Inhale forward. Back to half splits. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come forward once again. Press into your back foot, lifting your knee. And then step your left foot forward, meeting your right, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Core drawing in. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back nice and long, lowering your right knee down to the mat, sinking into this deep low lunge stretch. Now stretching through your right hip flexor. Inhale, and then exhale, move back into half splits. You can come high onto the heel of your left foot as you sink your hips back towards your right heel. Forehead bowing towards your shin. Inhale, come forward, low lunge. Heart lifting, exhale, half Hanumanasana. Inhale forward. One more time. Low lunge. And back. Coming forward into half splits. And then we're going to press into the hands, stepping back into plank. And let's hold a plank for a few breaths. You can tuck all of your toes underneath, activating your legs, drawing your core in, knitting your ribs, pressing through the hands, almost elevating through the shoulder blades. One more breath. And then knees to the ground, slowly lowering all the way down. Chin, chest, and then hips. You can stack your palms, resting your forehead onto your palms or fists, whatever feels nice. And then foot soles can go up towards the ceiling. You can just windshield wipe the feet side to side. This feels nice, massaging out the front of the legs, even massaging out the belly. Then you can bring the feet back down to the ground. Bring your arms just beside your ribs and then press up into modified plank and then back into child's pose. Knees as wide as the mat, settling your hips down towards your heels and your forehead down to the mat. Inhale, activate your arms, lifting your elbows off of the ground and come all the way up into table. And then we are just going to settle the hips down to the mat and lay back onto your back body. And you can hug in your knees for a cannonball shape. Sometimes it feels nice to rock from side to side, massaging out the back. You can interlace your hands over your shins or to the back of your hamstrings. Tuck your chin in a little bit, creating some length through the back of your neck. Maybe even bringing your forehead towards your knees. And then releasing here. Let's do one final shape. Coming into a two-knee twist. Ground your feet down, pick up your hips, move them over to the left. Float the knees up and then across your body. Send your left arm out into a twist and you can take your gaze over the left shoulder. And I like to use my right hand just to ground down on my left leg, helping to anchor and to get a little bit more depth in the twist. Inhale, your head can come back to center. And then you can draw your whole body, unraveling your twist back to center. And I like to just take a breath here in a neutral spine, just allowing the spine to reset. Ground your feet down, pick up your hips, move them over to the right. And now guiding knees across to the left side, sending your right arm out. And then gazing over the right shoulder, left hand to the right knee. And a few deep breaths here. . Inhale, head coming back to center, unraveling the twist, taking a breath in neutral spine. And if there's any other shape that you really need today, maybe it's a happy baby, maybe you love legs up the wall, maybe you love shoulder stand, take any of those shapes now, or you can settle in to the very best Shavasana. You can get a sweater or a blanket, you can get nice and cozy, get some pillows, and I'll invite you to take up lots and lots of space onto your mat, feet walking maybe even wider than mat width. Maybe you rest your arms out to the side, palms facing up. Or it feels nice sometimes to ground your hands onto your body. And I will leave you here for a few moments of silence, and I will bring you back when it's time. And you can begin to deepen your breath. Maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes. And whenever you're ready, maybe it might even feel nice to zip your legs together, reach your arms overhead for a big good morning stretch, stretching all the way from your toes to your fingertips. And then when you're ready, you can roll over onto your right side, using your bicep just like a pillow. Taking this moment to extend the most deepest, profoundest gratitude to yourself. Gratitude for showing up today and doing something to take care of your mind and your body and your spirit. Send gratitude to your incredible body that does so many amazing things. Extend gratitude for everyone around you. And then you can use your hands pressing back up into seated. And you can even keep your eyes closed just to maintain this sense of peace. Sitting back up in Sukhasana, easy seated pose. Letting your lower body anchor into the ground, sit bones anchoring in, and crown lifting towards the ceiling. You can draw your hands together, heart center, with your thumbs pressing into your sternum. Bring a gentle, sweet smile to your face. The divine light in me sees and acknowledges the divine light in you. Namaste.